Hey everyone, welcome back. Let's jump right in. AI, it's changing everything, and that means big opportunities, right, for investors, especially as we look ahead to 2025.
Yeah, definitely. Big year coming up.
Huge. And today we're going to take a deep dive into two companies that are leading the charge. Nvidia and Broadcom, you know them. Their stocks just went crazy in 2024.
Triple-digit growth. It's pretty remarkable.
But can they keep it up? That's what we want to find out today.
Well, and the thing is, they're both coming at AI in totally different ways, which is really interesting.
Yeah, let's start with Nvidia. They're like the king of the AI hill right now.
For sure.
I was reading that, like, to get this, $1 trillion. $1 trillion worth of computers need to be upgraded to handle AI.
Yeah, it's mind-boggling.
That's a lot of computers.
It really speaks to the scale of this whole AI revolution, and to get why Nvidia is so dominant, you have to understand those GPUs.
The graphics processing units.
Exactly. They're like the engines that power AI. They can handle the massive amounts of data. And all those complex calculations that AI needs, it's just what they're built for.
So it's not just that they make chips, it's that their chips are perfect for this.
Right. But, you know, NVIDIA is not just about hardware. They've got this full stack approach, which is really smart.
What does that mean, full stack?
Okay, so think about it like baking a cake. They don't just give you the flour and the sugar.
Okay.
They give you the recipe, the oven, and the chef. They offer the hardware, those GPUs, the software tools to actually develop AI applications, and even the cloud services to run them.
So they're like a one-stop shop for anything AI.
Exactly. It makes them incredibly powerful and appealing to everyone from researchers to businesses.
And they're not slowing down. They just launched this new Blackwell architecture. It's a big deal.
Yeah, it is.
For those who aren't super techy, can you break that down?
Sure. So it's really customizable, this architecture, which means it can be tailored for all kinds of AI needs. It's not one size fits all.
Which makes sense, because AI is being used for so many different things these days.
Right. From self-driving cars to, drug discovery.
So NVIDIA is adaptable, which is key in a fast-changing field like this one.
And their financial performance is reflecting that. Over $35 billion in revenue for Q4 of 2024.
$35 billion. Whoa.
Yeah, they're definitely doing something right.
Okay, so NVIDIA, undeniably a huge player. But what about Broadcom? They're not the first name you think of when you think AI.
Right. Maybe not. But their reach is incredible. I mean, think about this, 99% of internet traffic. It touches their technology at some point.
99%.
It's crazy.
That's almost all of it.
And they're using this to their advantage in the AI boom.
How so?
In a couple of ways. One, they're developing custom AI chips. Maybe not as famous as NVIDIA's GPUs, but they're targeted for specific applications. And two, and this is big, they provide the networking infrastructure. That makes it all work.
So if NVIDIA is providing the brains, Broadcom is making sure the brains can talk to each other.
Yeah, like that. They're building the highways for AI to function on a massive scale. As AI gets more powerful, it needs to process and move more data.
Broadcom comes in.
Right.
Makes sense. They're kind of like the picks and shovels. During a gold rush, everyone's focused on the gold, which is AI, but you need tools to actually get to it.
Exactly. And this approach is working. Their AI revenue grew by like 220% last year.
220%. That's wild.
Yeah, they're definitely onto something.
And then there was that whole VMware acquisition. Huge deal.
Oh, yeah, that was massive. Not just because it expands their software offerings, but it also boosts their profitability. They've got something like a 70% operating margin now.
70%. Okay, so for those of us who aren't finance experts, break that down. What does that tell us?
Well, it means for every dollar of revenue, they keep 70 cents as profit.
So they're efficient.
Incredibly efficient and profitable, and that makes them very attractive to investors.
So it's not just about growth. It's about profitable growth.
Absolutely. And this is where things get interesting when we start comparing Broadcom and NVIDIA.
So we've got NVIDIA, the powerhouse, those GPUs, amazing revenue, and then Broadcom, kind of quietly doing their thing, but making sure all this AI stuff can actually work. It's like they almost need each other, don't they?
Yeah, that's a great point. It's definitely a symbiotic relationship. Like as NVIDIA pushes the boundaries with their hardware, it actually creates more demand for Broadcom's solutions to handle all that data, and vice versa.
Huh. Okay, so I shouldn't just be thinking about which company is better. It's about how they fit into the whole AI picture.
Exactly. Got to look at the bigger ecosystem. And that brings us to another key point for investors, especially in a field like AI, diversification. Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Right. Classic advice.
Yeah.
So even though we're talking Nvidia and Broadcom today, this isn't a pick one or the other situation.
Nope, not at all. These are two major players. But the AI landscape is huge, and it's changing so fast. There are other companies out there, some up and coming, that are worth looking into as well.
Yeah. Always do your research right.
Absolutely. The Motley Fool always encourages that. Build a portfolio that makes sense for you.
Yeah.
Your risk tolerance, your goals, all that.
Right. So to recap, we've got Nvidia, the leader, those impressive GPUs, their revenue is through the roof, and Broadcom, using their reach, those smart acquisitions to really capitalize on this AI boom. Both are looking good for growth. But it sounds like Broadcom might be the slightly better buy right now.
Yeah, potentially, because of that valuation. And their operating margin is phenomenal, but
Yeah.
This is just a snapshot.
Things change quickly.
AI is so dynamic. New tech comes out all the time, new competitors. You got to stay informed, do your research, and be ready to adapt.
So in 2025, what are some things investors should be watching? What could shake things up?
Well, keep an eye on new AI hardware. Companies like Google and Amazon, they're pouring money into their own AI chips.
Really?
Oh, yeah. If those chips turn out to be better, more efficient, or cheaper than Nvidia's, could change the game.
Yeah, you never know. Tech moves so fast. What else?
Regulations. Governments are starting to think about the whole AI thing. The ethics, the impact on society. New regulations could create a lot of opportunities, but also challenges for companies like Nvidia and Broadcom.
And those regulations could be different everywhere. Each country might do its own thing.
Exactly. Adds another layer of complexity. And of course, you can't forget about the global economy. Recession, slowdown in growth. That could affect demand for AI across all sorts of industries. And that would definitely hit these companies' stock prices.
So it's not just about the tech itself. It's about the bigger picture.
Right. The economy, politics, it's all connected.
Makes you think. Well, I think that's given everyone a lot to consider today. Any final thoughts before we wrap up?
I'd just say think long term when it comes to investing, especially with AI. Don't get caught up in the hype. Don't make rash decisions. Do your homework. Build that diversified portfolio. And stick to your goals.
Great advice. And remember, this is just the starting point. We always encourage you to dig deeper, stay informed, make your own decisions. Now, before we go, here's a question for you to think about.
Yeah.
We talked about Nvidia and Broadcom, but this whole AI revolution, it's going to touch so many industries.
Right, absolutely.
So what other companies are out there, maybe ones we haven't even thought of yet, that could benefit from this shift to AI? Like, are there hidden gems just waiting to be discovered?
That's what makes this so exciting. The possibilities are endless. And that's why it's so important to stay curious.
Yeah.
To keep learning about AI because things are moving so fast. And, just like Broadcom, they kind of came out of nowhere, right?
Yeah.
To become a major player, there are probably other companies doing the same thing, positioning themselves for success in ways we can't even imagine yet.
So as an investor, it's not just about finding those obvious winners. It's about spotting those emerging trends, those overlooked opportunities.
Right. And remember, investing isn't about predicting the future. It's about understanding the forces that are shaping it. And then you can position yourself to benefit from those changes. The companies that can adapt, that can innovate, and really use AI effectively, those are the ones that are going to thrive.
Makes sense. I think we've given our listeners a lot to think about today. We dug into Nvidia, their dominance, those powerful GPUs, that whole full stack approach. We looked at Broadcom, how they're making sure AI can actually work on a global scale, that VMware acquisition, really smart move. And we talked about why diversification is so important and staying informed and being aware of the bigger picture. The economy, geopolitics.
Yeah, all those factors play a role.
For sure. But the biggest takeaway is that continuous learning thing.
Couldn't agree more.
AI is constantly changing.
Right.
So the more you understand about the technology, the competition, the risks, the rewards, the better decisions you can make as an investor. This was a great deep dive into a topic that's really changing the world. But remember, this is just the beginning. Keep learning, keep exploring, and most importantly, keep investing in your future.